Hello and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. And last night at the Bernabeu Stadium it was Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 3 after 90 minutes, and after extra time it was Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 3, and we went out 5-4 on aggregate in the quarter-final of the 2021-22 Champions League. A friend of mine gave me this very kindly, saw this in a shop and bought it. You can see it there, going up on the wall soon. But that's how I feel this morning. Gutted, absolutely gutted. Last night, 1 or 2 Vinos and 1 or 2 Guinnesses, and after 74 minutes that was in celebration, and after 120 minutes it was in commiseration. What a game, what a game, and what a performance. I have briefly been on social media this morning, and overwhelmingly it's people who are proud. You have got the odd cabbage, I must admit, who's either blaming individual players, saying certain players are finished and all that usual cabbagery, but on the whole everyone's proud, and so they should be, so they should be. Last night those players played for this badge. That badge? No, wrong side. They played for the right badge, played for this badge, and you could tell, you could absolutely tell. They left everything on that pitch. Yeah, there could have been things that were done better. When we gave the ball away for the first goal, I see Kant is getting the odd pelter for trying to pass over the top, and the second goal where Rudiger slips. There's no given that he gets the ball before Benzema anyway, but the chances are he would have jumped with him. Just things that conspire against you. Other things last night, I thought, if you're going to give, was it handball for that Alonso possible touch with his finger that didn't help control the ball or give him any advantage whatsoever if he touched it, because I've watched it a few times and I'm not absolutely sure. Then I give up. The amount of handballs there's going to be is just unbelievable. And for me, the biggest thing last night was why there was no check of Havertz being brought down by Casemiro when Courtois stopped it going out for a corner. Havertz is going in, yeah, Courtois is going to probably get to it before he does, but Havertz is brought down by Casemiro. I mean, I've watched it 3 or 4 times now, and it's a foul. It's a foul. And a foul in a penalty area should be a penalty. I thought the referee last night letting Madrid, particularly at 3-1, get away with so much time wasting, so much play acting, was despicable. But I guess, as Tommy Tuchel said in his after-match press conference, maybe you expect that against Real Madrid. They've got a history, if you like, of kind referees. But we lost it. It's down to us. Not making loads of excuses. I'm just saying it as I see it as a Chelsea fan through my blue-tinted glasses. But we lost it in the first game. Not blaming any individuals, but Edouard Mendy's mistake for the third goal at Stamford Bridge ended up costing us really dear. But Tommy Tuchel's tactical planning in that first game was as bad as his tactical planning was good in last night's game. We all know that Vinicius, we've watched the PSG game presumably, I know I did, we all know that Vinicius is like S off a shovel, And so why we left Christensen exposed in that first game, I just don't know, and why we didn't change that really early on, just substituting him for Chalobah, or making sure Reece came back and supported him better at that, in that position after the first goal even, and things might have been different. So there it is. That's what cost us, in my own humble opinion. Let me know if you think differently. Maybe you do. I don't know. The other thing that of course costs us dear is what always costs us dear, and that is lack of clinical finishing. Last night, 27 attempts on goal. Admittedly, I think it was a really small number. I think it was 8 or 9 on target. It could have even been less than that. But it was lack of clinical finishing that cost us. At the end there, Pulisic, my one criticism of Tommy last night was when he brought Werner off. Werner looked dangerous all night, and he looked one of the players that still had energy to me. Brought Pulisic on, Pulisic looked like he'd just run the London Marathon and come straight onto the pitch. And certainly one of the chances he missed, he had 3, but one of them you've got to be putting away. Same with Jorginho when he scuffed it near the end. You've got to put those away. If you're a professional footballer, you should be putting them away no matter what position you play in. So, it wasn't just last night though, at the Bridge as well. Romelu's header, all this stuff. Difference is, if you've got Karim Benzema up front for you, those goals are in the back of the net. If Chelsea do anything this summer, I personally would go all out for Haaland. I would go all out for Haaland. I know every other club in the world is going to be. But do you know what? If I was the new owners and I wanted the Chelsea fans on my side, I would make sure that Rudiger signs a new contract, because last night he was immense. And I would make sure that we get a finisher like Haaland, or even Benzema. I'll have him at 38, 40. Need an out-and-out finisher. As much as I dislike to even have his name in my mouth, a Gary Lineker, a Klinsmann, a Gerd Muller, an out-and-out, an Erland Haaland, an out-and-out finisher. So last night we started off with Edouard Mendy in goal. Well, I thought it was a back 4 when we kicked off, but commentators are saying it was a back 3 with James definitively playing as right side the centre half, Thiago Silva in the middle and Rudiger the other. We had Alonso on the left. I think maybe the formation fluctuated between a 4 and a 3 at the back, depending on whether we had the ball or not. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek either played right side of midfield or as a right wing back. Alonso either played left back or as a left wing back. In front of them we had Kante and Cover, which worked last night. I know Kante's been on this fast for Ramadan and he still wasn't up to his total best last night, but the ground he covered was amazing. Same with Cover. This morning I'd be surprised they can walk. Cover was so positive last night, and yet he was getting back and he was tackling. Amazing performance, absolutely amazing performance. And in front of them we had Mason Mount and Timo Werner. Mason Mount, absolutely amazing. Timo Werner looked like the Leipzig Timo Werner last night, and what a goal! What a goal, by the way. He was good on Saturday, and things didn't work out for him. Last night that goal was excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. And right up front we had Kai Havertz. And I tell you what, to a man, as a team, if I'm awarding points for effort, they're all getting a 10. All of them are getting a 10 for effort. they left everything on that pitch. Right from word go, they closed Madrid down. They fought for every ball. Certainly in that first half, we totally dominated, and should have been further ahead at half time, but totally dominated. And that's what Chelsea can do. That's what Chelsea at their best can do. And if we could recreate that every single game, we'd win the quadruple. I've got no doubt at all about that. Sheer quality of passing, maximum effort, cutting space down, covering for each other. Everything that a team can do well last night, Chelsea did, particularly in that first half. And what I liked is when we went 1-0 up, a superb finish from Mason Mount, who was absolutely excellent last night, back to his best, shutting the Mount Cabbages up big time. You know, he was still going well into 120 minutes, and you could see how much it meant to him. But when he got that goal last night, do you know what? There was no thought of himself. He didn't give it the big one. He was happy. You could see he was pleased, but he wanted to get that ball back to the centre circle as quickly as possible. I don't know if you noticed that. He was thinking of the team. That lad's been there since he was 6 years old at Chelsea Football Club. He's been there longer than some of the Cabbages have supporting. And you know what? You can see how much that team and that club means to him. And last night, well done, Mason. Absolutely top notch. And Mason Mount put us ahead 1-0 with a superb finish. The Snake didn't stand a chance of getting that. So we were 1-0 up at half time. Vinicius Jr. was finding it a lot harder getting past Ruben Loftus-Cheek and then having to outsprint Reece James. Reece James really was a great battle to watch, let's be honest. But Reece James really did well last night. All his defensive capabilities were asked about, and he answered them. Great performance by Reece James. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, tell you what, he was getting back, he was covering, but he had that additional strength and he was driving forward as well. If only we'd picked that in the first leg, if only. I know in the first leg, James, to be fair, was coming back from injury. He didn't have the minutes, probably didn't have the training. Could well have still got ripped a new one by Vinicius Jr. We don't always take minutes into consideration, and Tuchel obviously did, which probably led to his team selection. But last night I was just thinking, if we could have put this team out in that first leg, we'd be through by now. Second half starts and there's Rudy. Shouldn't have been a corner, you know, to be fair, because Modric didn't touch it. But ball comes over, bang. Big Tony Rudiger, who was immense last night, both at the back and going forward. He had a shot probably a yard wide earlier on, but did enough whistle. He really got hold of it. He had another header that he couldn't control. Thiago Silva was unlucky as well. But then finally Rudiger towers over them all, bang, in the back of the net. The Snake in goal didn't stand a chance. Then we had the Alonso incident. I won't go through it again, but if that's handball, I give up. To my way of thinking, it should have stood. And I'm not even totally sure he touched it. I keep watching it. I don't know about you, but I'm not even totally sure it even touches his finger. But there you go. If that was clear and obvious, I just don't know. Perhaps my eyesight's fading. I better get the Specsavers. And then Timo Werner, who'd run his socks off all night, who'd taken people with him. Most of the time he was keeping two of them occupied, sometimes three, and allowing space for our other forwards. Back to the Timo Werner of last year, but with finishing. Wow, what a finish for that third goal. Couple of dummies, left them on their backside, hit it a Courtois. Bit of a lucky deflection off his hand, but you know what? If you get enough chances like that and you shoot, you're going to get goals. Well done, Timo Werner. You were superb last night. Then in the 80th minute, my world fell apart. Luka Modric puts it over for, is it Rodrigue? And I've looked at it a few times. A great ball from Modric. I'm not going to slag Edouard on because it was so close to him, but I thought he might have gone for it. Because I've always thought that when you're a goalkeeper in that position, you just take a gamble. You just throw yourself at where you think it's going to go. And you're going to look at worst as ridiculous as when you stood still. But it must have been closer than I thought. Come off with his shin actually. 3-1. After that we still had chances. We still had chances in normal time. But we couldn't put them away. And although we were superb again in extra time, it was just the same old story of us wasting chances. Pulisic, Jorginho, Kai could have scored. We just wasted chances. Madrid are through. Whether you call it lucky or not, I don't call it lucky because I think we beat ourselves. We actually beat ourselves in that first leg, and last night by not taking chances. Ziyech had a shot where he should have passed. He should have passed. Mind you, he should have passed. He probably looked at the others and thought, I've only got Pulisic I can pass to there. I might as well take a shot myself. And I'm not having a go at Christian Pulisic. He's come off the bench, takes time to warm up, but I just think you've got to be putting some of them chances away. And that's it. Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 3 after extra time. They go through 5-4 and we look forward to next year's competition. Gutted. So we move on to player scores. Edouard Mendy last night gets a 7 from me. Didn't really have an awful lot to do. Distribution was good. No sign of any mistake like in that first leg. One good save, I think it was from Tony Cruz from a free kick. You've heard my thoughts on their first goal. I think maybe he should have just gambled and thrown himself. I've seen Bonetti do that loads of times and pull off a save, but it's not his fault. I'm not pointing the blame at Edouard Mendy for letting that first goal in. I'm just saying keeper of his quality, I would probably expect a gamble, but what do I know? He gets a 7. Reece James gets a 9. I thought he was absolutely amazing on the night. Defensively, very tight, also trying to get forward as well. Got a booking early, so he had to watch himself, but blood, sweat and tears for the badge. Reece James gets a 9. Thiago Silva gets an 8.5. Great blocks. Trying to start things from the back. Wasn't really all that troubled all night, really. Organised well, 8.5. Rudiger gets a 9. Could easily have been man of the match. Great goal, great header. Unlucky with his shot. Some great defensive work. That tackle, that last minute tackle on Benzema, it was just sublime. Top defending. Need to get him signed up really. Hope we do. If he's just being a prick and he wants too much and everything, then fair enough. But top defender. Come on leaps and bounds under Tuchel. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets an 8.5 from me. Worked very hard. Did good defensively. Did great going forward. Very strong. Totally different set of problems for Real Madrid to solve with Ruben Loftus-Cheek there, and it shows how he can play on that sort of level, that sort of stage, and be a real asset to the side. 8.5 for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. 8.5 for Alonso. We know he should have scored. positive going forward. Not the best at defending, but we know that. But he gave it 100%, and that's all you can ask for. 8.5 for Marco Alonso last night. N'Golo Kante gets an 8 from me. Gave the ball away a couple of times. Not at his best. I understand he's still getting his energy level back from all that fasting. Your religion's your religion. Can't do nothing about that. Shame it just timed with this cup tie, isn't it? Really, because I don't know. I'm not religious, so I can't say how much I'd store I put on it. But yeah, he gets an 8. Got through lots of ground, lots of hard work. Getting some unfair criticism this morning, I think. Gave it away twice in a 120-minute game. So Kovacic gets an 9 from me. Work rate unbelievable. Defensively excellent. Great going forward. One lousy shot, but we expect that from Kova, don't we? He was everything your defensive, offensive midfielder should be last night, apart from the Lampard goal at the end. Very, very good. Timo Werner gets a 9 from me last night. Worked his socks off. When he went off in the 83rd minute, I was scratching my head. He must have either been tired or carrying an injury, or because he hasn't had that many minutes, he was feeling it, because he was a danger to them all night. And when we went 3-2, I'm thinking, I wish Timo Werner was still on the pitch. He gets a 9. What a great goal. What a great composed piece of finishing. And that's the Timo we want. You know, if he was going to play like that every game, you wouldn't be selling him, even if he does hit the post about 10 times between each goal. Mason Mount is my man of the match with 9.5 last night. That young man was everything you'd want an offensive midfielder to be last night. The ground he covered, not only offensively but defensively as well. They say defence starts in offence, and Mason Mount showed every attribute last night to show why I always stick up for him, even when he's in a bad run of form. Because what you always get from Mason Mount is 100%. And that's why I always stick up for him when the cabbages come for him. For some reason, some people don't rate that lad, and that lad is quality, and he's only going to get better. And when you've got quality and then you've got his work rate on top of it, you've got some player. His goal was excellent, superb finish, great technique, and his contribution to that performance last night can't be underestimated. 9.5, man of the match, Mason. And Kai Havertz last night gets an 8.5 from me. Should have had a penalty in my humble opinion. Should have scored. But again, work rate. There was once, I don't know if you remember it, but there was once, I think it was in the first half, could have been the start of the second, when someone got the ball taken off them on the edge of our area, and it was Kai Havertz that took it, and I thought, wow, you're playing up front on your own, and you've had enough football brain and team spirit to get back 70 yards and take a ball off of, I think it was Vinicius, take a ball off of his foot, and take me hat off to you, Kai. Again, all those who wanted you sold not so long ago, how much humble pie are they eating? Not going to score the subs. Christian Pulisic, I don't know what was wrong with him last night, but that wasn't the Captain America that plays for the United States. I don't know what was wrong with him. Hakim Ziyech didn't bring anything to strengthen our side, and I think he was trying too hard, and Jorginho, I just that miss at the end. Our subs didn't do anything for us last night, put it that way. Tommy Tuchel last night gets a 9 from me. It would have been 10 if we'd gone through. He gets a 9. He had it spot on last night. What did I give him last week against Real Madrid? I think it was a 5. And last night he gets a 9. Got at least learnt his lessons, got his tactics spot on for me, and motivated that team like you wouldn't believe. Whatever he said to them after last week's game, before Southampton Saturday and last night, it obviously worked, and they're obviously playing for him. Whoever the new owners are, you've got to stick with Tommy Tuchel. I think he's a breath of fresh air, and you know I loved Frankie. I thought we got rid of him too soon, but you know what? Roman did this club proud. I understand why people are still singing his name, and not many decisions he got wrong, and if he did, he rectified them pretty soon. And Tommy Tuchel, bringing Tommy Tuchel to the club, was one of his best. Okay, that's all from me. Let me know what you think. I do these to hear what you think. You're probably, a lot of you think along the same lines, but some things you'll probably disagree with. And I like to hear where you think I've got the wrong perspective, or you think something different to what I've said here. I do these to get us talking. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I shall speak to you after the Crystal Palace game, although I probably won't get a video out till Tuesday because of work commitments, sadly. Thanks for following the channel. Please subscribe. Onwards and upwards. Don't be too down. That team did us proud. Up to Chelsea.